The Supreme Court has reached a decision on the landmark Roe v. Wade case. The ruling is on a case called Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. It's Mississippi's law that bans nearly all abortions after 15 weeks gestational age. It's considered the most direct challenge to Roe v. Wade in nearly 30 years. The question today, whether the law is constitutional, and we will have that answer in a matter of seconds. There were three possible outcomes. The court could strike down the law, which is seen as highly unlikely. It could uphold the law, or the court could uphold the Mississippi law and overrule Roe v. Wade. This would not make abortion illegal, but it would allow the states to ban it. As an aside, about half of the states would do so, and many have a mechanism in place right now to make this automatic. So while we wait for the details, and we'll get them in just a matter of seconds from Pete Williams of the court's decision, this particular case began in March of 2018 when Mississippi passed the Gestational Age Act. Supporters argue the law is intended to regulate inhumane procedures and that a fetus is capable of detecting and responding to pain by that point in pregnancy. Opponents contend that the Supreme Court has repeatedly ruled otherwise, and here is Pete Williams.
Now overturned Roe v. Wade and the follow-on case called Casey, in which the abortion right was made nationwide. Those two rulings stood for the proposition that states could not ban abortion before the age of viability. They could restrict it during that period up to about 23 weeks, but they couldn't ban it. Now the Supreme Court has taken that guarantee away. Lester, this is the first time the Supreme Court has ever granted a constitutional right, which it did so when Roe was decided in 1973, and then took it away, a popular right that was widely recognized. So the immediate effect of this will be to uphold a Mississippi law that would ban abortion after 15 weeks. But this also now means that in roughly half the country, abortion is, as of now, or soon will be, illegal. 13 states have what are called trigger laws that were intended to make abortion illegal in those states once the Supreme Court reached this decision. In a few of those states, the law takes effect immediately. In some, they have to wait for the state attorney general to certify that this is what the Supreme Court has done. That's 13 states in which abortion will shortly be illegal. And in the rest of the, up to about half the states, they are expected soon to make it illegal. So we're about to become a divided country, Lester, where abortion is legal in about half the states, illegal in half the states. This is a 6-3 decision. It's written by Samuel Alito. We haven't had a chance to track it yet, but you may recall that Justice Alito was the author of the draft opinion that leaked in May that suggested that the Supreme Court was going to overturn Roe v. Wade. But, Lester, I have to say this is not, while it is certainly going to be surprising to some, pleasing to others that have worked for this state for many years, it can't be too much of a surprise for three reasons. First of all, the fact that the court agreed to take this case in the first place. This was a decision from lower courts that said, no, you can't strike down abortion that early because it would go against Supreme Court precedents. There was no division among the circuit courts. So why did the Supreme Court take it? The logical conclusion has to be that they took it to overturn Roe. Secondly, what they did in the Texas case when they allowed the Texas law to go into effect that would restrict abortion. And third, the comments that the justices made when the Roe v. Wade case was argued. So Supreme Court overturning Roe. This is one of the most significant historic decisions in modern times, Lester. And now it means that abortion is no longer the law of the land. It's up to the states. And it's about to become illegal in about half of them, Lester.
NBC's Pete Williams with the decision, the landmark decision from the United States Supreme Court, which has ended constitutional protections for abortion that had been in place for nearly 50 years. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.